What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I literally just woke up not too long ago. I got out of the shower, I put my hair back in a bun, and I'm like, you know what? Today I'm not going to film with any artificial lighting, so absolutely no studio lights. I decided to sit down on the floor in my master bedroom in front of a big old window so that way I can film a full-blown makeup tutorial with natural lighting. I feel like this is gonna give you guys an accurate representation as to what my makeup actually looks like in real life. I have not filmed a video like this since I initially launched this channel about 8 years ago. This video is gonna be what's in my makeup bag, and this right here is my little cute little If you guys do like the setup, make sure you guys let me know by giving this video a big old like. Also, subscribe to my channel. I do upload every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to be notified anytime I upload a new video, also make sure you guys click that little bell. With that being said, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and let's get started on today's look. I'm so excited about today's video. I am filming it on my vlogging camera, so I know this setup isn't ideal. I have a bunch of shit all around me, but you know what? I guess I'm so tired of like chasing this idea of perfection online because it really does not exist in my life, which is why I decided to just sit on the floor and not do anything super special and crazy with my background. I am gonna start off though with a little bit of sunscreen. The only thing I have on my face right now is the Claro C Vitamin C Serum by Desi Skin. I've been loving it. I'm actually almost out of it, and I feel like it really is improving the dark marks on my skin. You guys are definitely gonna have to let me know your thoughts down below, but yeah. Sunscreen is Supergoop Glow Screen. It has SPF 40, and I love that it doesn't give me a white cast whatsoever. It does have a slight tint to it, which you guys will see when I squeeze it out. So that's kind of what the consistency looks like. Again, I really love it, and I do really layer this on because I feel like it's really important to have a nice layer of sunscreen on your face and also down your neck, so that way it can protect your skin from the UVA and UVB rays. I also want to mention that you can use this as an actual primer. I was reading the back of it a couple days ago and it says that it works as an amazing like makeup gripping primer. I wouldn't say it's like makeup gripping. When I think of makeup gripping, I think of like Milk Hydro Grip, but definitely not makeup gripping, but I definitely feel like it does act as a really nice primer for like your foundation stuff to stick to. I am gonna double prime though, because I mean, who would I be if I wasn't double priming in today's video? Also, I lost a nail. I'm so sad because I just got my nails done like literally not even a week ago. Oh my God. Oh. Anyways, let's get things going with a little bit of concealer. The concealer of choice today is going to be this one right here by e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I am using the shade Light Sand. It does have a little bit of like a pinky undertone to it, which is nice because it is going to cancel out like any discoloration. A little bit of this stuff goes a very long way, so I'm not really going to pile it on or anything like that. I'm really just taking a little bit here. I'm also going to put in areas where I want to lighten. I feel like my marionette lines here are just a little bit too dark for me personally right now, so I'm using a little bit of concealer to cover them up. I'm also going to highlight down my T-zone, chin, and forehead. So now that that's done, I am going to buff and blend it out, but here's the kicker. I've been obsessed with this right here by Glow Recipe. This here is the Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dew Drops. It's going to give the skin such a beautiful glow. I saw this all over TikTok and I'm just like, all right, I need to pick it up. I need to see what it's all about, and let me tell you, does not disappoint. This product is just so incredible. So what I like to do with it is I will take a little bit on the back of my hand, so about that much, and I will take a beauty blender, a beauty sponge. You could also use like an e.l.f. sponge or the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge that I know, love, and would recommend a million times over. Any sponge, literally anyone. I like to take the sponge and dip it into the glow drops, and I'll actually use this to buff and blend out my concealer and my foundation, and it really provides me with such a beautiful and intense glow. I love this method, and I definitely recommend you guys trying it at home. Ooh, someone's hitting my line. So now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cream contour. I will be using this right here by Fenty. This here is one of the Fenty matchsticks in the shade Mocha. Now this is more of a drier formula. If you like something that is a little bit more like emollient based, then this isn't gonna be the product for you. I feel like a common complaint with the Fenty matchsticks is that they are just a little bit drying on the skin. But the way I personally get away with using this product is skin prep. I feel like it's all in skin prep. Your makeup is only gonna look good as the skin underneath. So you wanna make sure you are taking those necessary steps to really prep and prime the skin. So again, I will be using this, which is a little bit more of a drier formula, but I am going to show you guys how I make it work with my skin. So I am taking it just onto a brush here, and this here is an e.l.f. brush. It's one of the double-ended brushes that they came out with the CC Plus Camo Cream Foundation. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use it to really just add some warmth to the skin. And I am essentially contouring with this, and I like to put this underneath like my base product because I feel like it looks the most natural when it's laying underneath of like, let's say a BB cream, a CC cream, or something of that nature. It doesn't stand out as much, but you still have those natural looking contours. So again, I'm just taking this here. So I did want to show you guys an up close view of what that contour stick looks like on my skin. Now, one thing that makes this look just a little bit thicker is all of this peach fuzz sitting right here on my face. One thing you can do is you can go in and dermaplane, get a straight razor and just shave off the peach fuzz. For me personally, I only ever do that when it's like a special occasion and I want my face to be like super snatched and sleek and just smooth and clean. But for day to day, I don't feel the need to go in and like dermaplane all the time. So I am gonna keep it like this. Nonetheless, I definitely feel like this product is really melting into the skin. It's not sitting on top of the skin, and it still looks very, very beautiful. So I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to continue adding this matchstick like all over, like right here, just to add some warmth to the skin. Don't worry, I know this looks a little crazy. I am gonna go in with some of this. This is by Fenty. This is the new Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade number 8. I've been so obsessed with this. Like, I really like it. The only thing is that you really have to prep your skin before going in with this. Otherwise, it can look a little drying on the skin, but I really just like to take it and then just draw it on, like straight onto the face. I love that this looks like skin on the skin, and it also really holds up very nicely like in the Florida heat. Like, I'm into it. If you guys have tried this, let me know in the comments. Another thing I've been obsessed with doing is taking a little bit of the Glow Recipe drops and mixing it into my skin tint. I dropped this, by the way, so this is actually looking a little funky, but I take only one drop and then I'll take a different brush, and then I'll just mix it into the brush. And then I'll use this to start to tap it out. And this is just starting the process. You'll see this come together in a second. Like, don't be alarmed. Trust me. Then I'm gonna take a sponge and I'm gonna use this to really buff and blend everything together. And then once I'm done with this, you guys are gonna see my next step. It's really just gonna transform this entire look. So what I'm doing now is I am taking that brush that we used to contour earlier, and I'm lightly just tapping it over this area here just to re-intensify it. You can see that this looks so pretty and just so natural on the skin. You really don't need to go in with any more additional product. You just want to lightly blend it onto the skin to give it more of a natural effect. I'm also going to take a little bit of a stick foundation. This one here is by Huda. It's in the shade Toasted Coconut. What is this? 240N. So it is more of a neutral based contour stick cream foundation. And I'm using this to just add a little bit more coverage and then just kind of clean up that cream contour I have going on. Look at that. You see what I mean? Like, that really just cleaned things up. And it also just gave me like a little bit more coverage. It still looks so pretty on the skin. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. What I love most about it is that it does have a mixture between contours and also some highlight shades. I've really been obsessed with like the banana shade, but I'm also gonna mix in a little bit of that peach shade, and I'm gonna use this to set underneath my eyes. And I'm just using a big brush for this step. I'm not baking. I really just haven't been into baking as of lately, so I'm really just taking a little bit onto here and then just dragging it underneath. I just feel like it works better for my under eye area. Sometimes my under eye area can get just like really, really dry, so that's why I've really been skipping the baking. So after going in with that under eye powder, I am going to use this powder here to set everything down and in place. And the reason I like to use this, especially like on my chin area and stuff, is because you guys know I do struggle with acne, I do struggle with scarring. So a powder like this is really going to give me additional coverage. It really is meant to be like a powder foundation, but I love to use it to really just further intensify the coverage in the areas where I need it. So I'm just taking this, and I am taking it on a puff because I feel like I could really push the product into the skin. And I'm using this to set all the other areas that I didn't go in with the Kat Von D powder. Look at that. Like the coverage is so good. Definitely more of a full coverage look, not light and airy, not like your skin, but better. I do have coverage here. And I mean, for me personally, I've really been loving this method of just applying my makeup. I think it looks so, so bomb. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So now that everything is nice and set, I am gonna go in and further like bronze up the skin. And I am gonna use a blush and bronzing duo by Jaclyn Cosmetics. I've been obsessed with this duo since I picked it up. The shade I'm using, by the way, is Sun Kissed. And I'm gonna pick up some of that bronzer, and I am going to use this to just bronze up and really just intensify that matchstick. And you guys are really gonna see how beautiful this lays on the skin. Like it is so seamless, like doesn't get blotchy or anything like that. I'm really obsessed with their formula. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you've tried it. Also, speaking of Jaclyn Cosmetics, I did pick up her under eye powders, which I will be doing a separate Instagram TV review this coming Friday. So make sure you guys are following me over on Instagram if you guys want to see more about how I feel about her powders. So now I'm gonna go in with some of the blush, and I'm gonna start like right back here and then work it into the bronzer. And then I'm also gonna take it onto the apples of my cheeks. And I do like to go a little heavy-handed with my blush, but let me tell you, it all comes together. So after that, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with some of the Jaclyn Hill Luminous Powder. And I am gonna take a little bit of this onto the back of the cap. And then I'm gonna take that same brush I used to apply my under eye powder, and I'm going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks, and I'm gonna sweep it back. What I love most about this powder is that it gives me such a pretty and just like luminous glow. Do you see what I mean? It looks so good on the skin. Now this step is totally optional, but you can definitely go in with like a little bit of a bronzer and just add a little bit more of like a nose contour. I feel like this is something I'm totally into. So I'm just using this one right here by Physicians Formula. Let me tell you, this smells like a tropical vacation. Speaking of which, I really need to go on a tropical vacation like ASAP. Like I'm so over our house and all the construction we've been doing, but it is most definitely slowing down. So I'm hoping we can get a little bit of a break in the weeks to come. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we did get baseboards installed in here, and I'm so happy about that because this room was looking crazy for a minute. So at this point, I'm gonna go in with a brow marker. I'm using this one right here by Anastasia. Usually I will use one by NYX, but I have no idea what I did with it. So I'm just gonna use this to create fine hair-like strokes within my brow. I've definitely been into that boy brow look. I haven't been overdrawing my brows for about like 2 years now. So I'm just gonna go in and lightly just create these little lines to create some definition. So let's go ahead and jump into eyeshadow. Now the eyeshadow palette I will be using is by MakeupByAmarie. This is such an incredible eyeshadow palette. This is the Master Matte eyeshadow palette, and I feel like I have talked about this in the past and really raved about it because I really love the shades. I love the formula. I love the blendability. So I'm gonna take the shade in this shade here, and I'm gonna use these two as my transitional color. I'm just gonna go back and forth and really just get this in my crease to create some definition. I'm also gonna take like more of like a pointed brush, and I'm gonna use this like right underneath here just to kind of wrap it around and bring the entire look together. This is like my go-to like soft but smoky look. I say soft because realistically I do want to keep it soft, but I already know myself. I'm probably just gonna amp it up like way more than I should. Now that I have that blended like all over my eyelid, I'm gonna go in with this palette here, also by MakeupByAmarie. This here is the Master Metallics eyeshadow palette. Now, if y'all don't own this, y'all need to go snag it up. I feel like this is the perfect like eye topper palette to have in your collection. It's so incredibly gorgeous on the eyes. So I'm gonna take like a mix of these shades here. I definitely wanna do more of like a bronze smoky eye, so I love to just do this with my finger, and then I'll just kind of tap it on. If I need to get like super up close in here, I will use a brush because I do have acrylics on, so it's kind of hard for me to get like really close, but for the most part I do like to just use my finger for this step. And you can see it's such a pretty bronze shade by mixing like this one, this one, this one, and this one together. Love it. Another thing I'm gonna take is this dark brown shade here, and I'm just gonna tap it like in the middle so that way it meets with my outer V color. I love like a good bronze smoky eye, and this is such a moment. Now I'm just taking like these two shades here and a little bit of that one, and I'm doing like a cocktail to just smoke out this outer part here. Just a little. And I always make sure to take those same colors that I put on the outer V and then just like drag it down. Like right here to connect everything together. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a brown eyeliner. This one just so happens to be from MakeupByAmarie, but I promise you guys, video not sponsored by MakeupByAmarie, even though that would be really, really cool. I just really love his products. So what I like to do in this case is I will just take a little bit of this and I'll kind of create more of a half wing. So I like for it to be the thickest right here. I'll stop right in the middle, and then I will use a different brush to really wing this out. And here I'm just taking an angled brush to smudge it out. What I like about this eyeliner is that once it sets and it doesn't move around or smudge throughout the day. It really is like the perfect brown eyeliner. Then I'm gonna dip into this dark brown shade within that same palette, and I'm gonna use it to just intensify the wing. And then when I get to like right here, I'll start to thin it out, because I don't want it to be too thick all the way in here, because then you kind of just close off your eye, and that's not the vibe. That's not what I want. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with some of the Jaclyn Hill highlighter. This one is in the shade Iced, and I'm gonna use this to really go to town and just highlight my brow bone. Like, I want this area to be super, super blinding. This also is just gonna help out with blending. Do you see what I mean? Like, look how pretty that looks. Whenever my face kind of hits a light or my brow hits a light, it's gonna shine like no other. So I'm just going to continue on. I'm also going to apply a little bit of this to the face, but nothing too crazy or intense. So just a little here and down the bridge of my nose. Again, you can definitely do whatever it is that you want. This is just really me and my method. And then I'm just going to pop some here. Now this highlighter definitely is a little icy, so go in with a very, very light hand. So I actually don't have much left of this look other than popping on some false lashes. So the lashes I will be applying are these ones right here by Salon Perfect. These are the Winged Demi Collection lashes in the style 692. The duo I'm gonna use is the Dark Duo adhesive. And the way I actually like to apply my lashes, or lash glue for that matter, is I will just take it onto my lash line like an eyeliner, and then I'll just take my lashes and pop them on directly over top. I find this way the lashes stay on a lot easier because I don't have to like hold the lash and wait for the lash glue to get tacky. It's kind of getting tacky as I'm doing the other eye. So you guys will see here in a second. Just like that. And then I'll even take just like a little more right here in the inner corner, but that's pretty much all I do for lash glue. Then I'm gonna take my lash and I'm just going to pop it directly on top, just like that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go in with my lip color. I did just take a makeup wipe and I cleaned up all of the residue that was sitting on my lips. The first product I'm gonna use is this one right here by KKW Beauty. This is a lip liner in the shade Nude 2. I love this one so much. It's kind of sad because anytime I go into Ulta Beauty stores, I can't find this shade at all. I'm not entirely sure if her lip liners are being taken out of Ulta, but you guys are definitely gonna have to let me know in the comments. This is probably one of my favorite mid-tone nude browns, and I'm gonna use this to line my lips completely. Next up, I'm gonna go in with this lip liner here from Ofra. It is such a beautiful kind of like nude pink. This is in the shade Nude Potion, and I'm gonna blend this in with the lip liner. And then I'm just gonna finish things off with this lipstick by Maybelline. This is one of their lipsticks in the shade Baddest Beige. I love that it's like super glossy, so I'm just gonna top this right in the center to add a little bit of shine. Hell, I'm gonna put it all over. It is so pretty. The last and final thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with some setting spray. This is by Rare Beauty. It's the Always an Optimist 4-in-1 primer. I'm gonna give this a good shake. You can tell I really like this because clearly, honey, we are down to the very bottom, but I'm gonna use this to set everything down and in place. And that is pretty much it, you guys. This right here is the final and completed look. I feel like I'm like super close because I definitely wanted to show you guys what the makeup just looks like on my skin. Again, natural lighting is always gonna be like the best representation of how my makeup actually looks in real life. And I will say, I love it. I love how everything turned out. I will have all products that I use listed down below in the description. One thing I do wanna make note of though is like looking in the viewfinder, I feel like my highlight, the last one that I applied, this one right here by Jaclyn Cosmetics, it looks a little icy on me personally, so I know she did restock these. I may go up about one shade because I feel like this is just a little frosty on me personally, but nonetheless, I love the glow it gives my skin. Like, I love how everything came out. I feel like it's full coverage, but it doesn't look heavy or cakey on the skin, and I feel like that's something everyone is always looking for whenever they are putting on makeup. So again, I will have all products listed down below, and if you guys enjoyed this setup of me sitting on the floor, just chatting with you guys, just very chill and candid in the moment, let me know because I can definitely film more videos in this style so that way it doesn't feel so structured all the time. But that's pretty much it. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces. What? I don't know why I went over here instead of here. Goodbye.